Thank you so much for rejoining us again. And the program is Good Morning Abuja, coming to you from the Unity Station. And that feature sets the tone for this first conversation on the program this morning, talking about food security and how we can mitigate losses. Yes, you can all agree with me that there is nothing, obviously, that we can do without food. Now, let's get into this business of food security and how we can mitigate losses. And this morning, we have with us agri insurance expert to talk to us on that. Help us welcome Mr. Ayola Fatona to the program. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning. Good
Yes.
morning.
sir.
Good morning.
And welcome to our studio.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
coming.
Thank you.
We want to talk about food. Now, let's start this way. What is food security all about?
Well,
For the layman to
okay.
understand.
It's simple. It's simple. For a nation to have attained food security, it simply means that all categories of its citizens must have social, economic access
Okay.
to safe and nutritious food at all times for the general wellness and well-being of that particular individual. So the key word here is very simple. Access, unfettered access, complete access. And that access to having that particular food for the well-being and to cater for the dietary well-being of that particular individual must encompass all categories of diseases, irrespective of whatever strata of the society you are in. For a country that have attained food security, you must be able to have that particular access to food for your dietary needs and equally for your well-being.
Wow. Okay, so talking about the economic impact of food security, tell us more on that.
Well, if a country is food secured, as the case may be, it transcends towards the entire strata of that particular country and equally have a positive impact on the entire GDP. Let me tell you what that means. It simply means that practically all its citizens are well fed. And when you are well fed, you're able to go there and produce more. You do other things that contribute to the growth of that particular country. So it's very, very important for a country to be food secured. And equally, when you are food secured, it simply means you have adequate food to take care of the entire citizenry. And when that happens equally too, you may equally have surpluses. And when you have surpluses, what do? You go ahead and export. When you export to other countries, you equally do what? You get foreign exchange that equally boosts your own economy as a country in itself.
Yes.
So it's
Sorry, I have a question. You're talking about exporting food. Do you think we have enough food in Nigeria?
No, not. You see, that is what.
We've not gotten to. Okay. So we've not gotten there yet.
You have not. We have not got. We are just trying because again, I love the government's position on the aspect of using agri to further diversify the economy. But again, we need to get things right in the area of producing adequately to equally first and foremost feed ourselves.
Exactly.
And if you, from my initial statement, I made it very clear, abundantly clear, that for a country to be able to export, it must be food secure on itself. It must have sufficient food before you can start thinking of exporting.
But my question is, do you think we are there yet?
No, we are not there yet. We are just doing our best.
We are doing our best, and I know gradually we'll get there because all the mechanisms are
slowly but surely.
Surely will be there.
Definitely.
Okay, yes, we are talking about food, and I agree with you when you're responding initially that there is nothing we can do without food. If we don't have food, you can't be mentally. You can't be here.
Yeah.
Okay, now since we are celebrating International Day of the Potato today, I want us to spell out some things in black and white so we could understand it. Now let's bring it down to this tomato Ebola. When you go to our markets, the price of tomato is let me say, is something else. So I want you to react to that.
Well, first and foremost, you see again, if you look at it, this year we are talking about tomato Ebola, that is Tuta absoluta, which is actually a fungi disease that affects the tomato crop. Last year, it was ginger blight. Ginger blight is equally a disease that affects the growth of ginger.
Hope next year to not be something
Now,
else.
now I'm actually going somewhere.
Okay.
What it simply means here is that, see, the negative impact of global warming and climate change is there.
Yes.
And so that's why you see the occurrence or sporadic spread, outbreak of these diseases across agricultural production. It's not even limited to crops alone. Even livestock they have their own use. So again, it's something that we can go ahead and manage, but it's going to take a lot of effort on our own part to control these outbreaks. But from the look of things, is when it's global warming and climate change, basically in most cases it's usually out of control. You can only try as much as possible to manage. Now, my response to area of management is that there should be a lot that need to be done in terms of researching for seeds, varieties. You understand that are resistant to some of these fungal diseases. So there need to be a lot of research so that when you grow these disease-resistant varieties, when there is that outbreak, it will not affect the crop because already it has produced an immunity against that particular disease, so it will not occur. That is first. Then secondly too, and that will come into my space, we still have to talk about it later. Agriculture these days is actually involves a lot of investment. There's a lot of finances that are sunk in from across the entire value chain. So there is a need for us to actually have a way of coping, a coping mechanism to build the resilience of farmers that are actually involved in production. Because it's a production where you have these biggest risks that actually affect the farmers themselves or whoever is producing in that particular value chain in itself. So what are our coping and risk management mechanisms that is expected to build the resilience of people that are involved in that particular space? And so that is where insurance comes into place. Insurance is a risk mitigation mechanism that takes care of your financial loss where you suffer a financial loss in that particular aspect of production. And so when you suffer that particular financial loss, insurance will now repay you, will compensate you for that particular value that you have lost. That is if you have insured. I'll give you an example. Last year, you know, Kaduna is very, very popular for the production of ginger. You have a greater percentage of ginger farmers seated in Kaduna. There was an outbreak of the ginger blight disease. Leadway Assurance Company Limited, in conjunction with some of its partners, Effects, Polar Advisors, and Leadway, we insured over 1,300 and something farmers who suffered that ginger blight disease. And they lost their crop to ginger blight disease. Last week, they received a payout of over 110 million naira for the loss that they have suffered. And that's 1,300 and something farmers that suffered that particular loss. I don't think they're even up to 10% of the farmers that cultivated ginger in Kaduna for that year. So you can see how important insurance is. So let us assume that the entire farmers in Kaduna that crop ginger insured. It simply means that they will have resources to go back to the farm again and crop ginger. Do you understand? So that is why insurance is actually, for me, and I keep on telling people that are in production, if you are drawing your budget, the first thing, practically in Nigeria, what most farmers think at the beginning of the season is, how do I get seeds? How do I get fertilizer? How do I get labor? How do I get other inputs? But the first thing that should be on their mind is, how do you secure insurance? How do you subscribe to insurance to secure that investment? Because whether we like it or not, global warming, climate change is here. And it's not going to go away.
We need to do more awareness in this area because
like most farmers, it is one thing to be a farmer, it's another thing to also insure.
And I think even for me, personally, I'm advocating that even at the national level, there should be a policy that had to do with insurance of farms, especially in this time of negative impact
I was about
of
say
global warming and
Let
climate
you talk
change.
to us more
Yes,
about
interesting.
the national insurance policy, but let's
take a
break this
break. Yes.
discussion. Yes, we are here and we are talking about food security and how we can mitigate losses. Now, let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we will still be here to talk about it. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, and if you just tune in, the program is still Good Morning Abuja, and it is coming to you from the Unity Station NTA Channel 5. We are here and we are talking about food security. Yes, the importance of food. And our resource person is still here with us. Before we went on that break, you were trying to talk about a policy that we can put in place to ensure.
To secure the farmers.
Yes.
Because again, these smallholder farmers constitute the greatest part of the resource that actually put the food on our table.
On our table.
So again, they actually need to be protected in order to ensure their resilience and equally to motivate them to continue to go to the farm, even when some of these disaster strikes. So we have the opinion that there should be a policy for insurance or a risk mitigation mechanism that will protect the farmers when they go there to do their job. Because they are the guys that feeds us. We need them to practically survive. And if they are not happy doing what they are doing on the field, there will not be food. And that is one of the reasons why we are having this escalating prices, because food in itself is no longer adequate.
And now, one thing I've just realized with this hike in food prices is that honestly, if you have trust issues, don't send anybody to the market to buy any food stuff.
Yes.
Personally, this is a personal experience. So we went to the market, I think just this Saturday that passed, and something we had bought just about a week ago
I know.
for a particular price.
I know.
By the time we got to the market, it was like 3 times the price.
At times, 4 times. Yeah.
What is happening? I mean, you tell us, please tell us
What is happening?
Tell us what is happening.
You see,
We need to
the simple
know.
question is that, irrespective of what the challenges are, it simply means that we need to fix the supply side. It simply means that demand outstrips supply. Simple econometrics. Very simple. If we have excess there, of course, definitely, when you have more for people to buy, the price will automatically
Calm down.
It will come down.
Yes.
But again, across the entire value chain of agricultural production, there are various challenges. So we need to sit down to fix those challenges. And one of the strongest area where that particular challenge is actually the production aspect. And that particular production aspect is the first wheel that trigger up the other processes in the other value chain. It's only when you now go ahead and
now the thing is, we have more farming, we have more farmers. Ordinarily, we should expect that things should be cheaper, things should be in surplus, but opposite is the case.
But the thing is that the number of farmers that we have, how equipped are they to produce more?
Yeah, but we all know one of the reasons why most of the farmers have probably even deserted their farms.
It's the issue of security.
Yes.
Then again, government will take a look at its current security architecture to rejig it and ensure that the farmers are out there doing their things safe.
Earlier on, you mentioned that there should be a bill, they should pass a bill concerning making insurance compulsory and all that. Yes, that's a very good one. But I also believe that farmers have an association, and that's where their power, or that's where their words should spring up, so that they can bring these things up. Because personally, I cannot just go and meet the Minister of Agriculture to say, sir, this is what, I'm not a farmer, or I'm not a registered farmer. So you have I believe there's an association where they can table this matter to the appropriate authorities, so that life can be bearable, life can be easy for all of us.
Of course, we keep on advocating that. Of course, we engage the associations, the Commodity Association, the Producers Association, across the various agricultural production, be it in crops, be it livestock. And some of them do equally align with us. There is a need for them to look at a risk mitigation measure for the farmers that are there on the field. Some do. But again, one thing that becomes a major issue for them in most cases is the cost of subscribing to agriculture. They believe the smallholder farmers are not well to do to go ahead and buy these insurance policies to protect themselves. But I'm of the opinion that agri insurance in this country, I've been doing that for close to 3 decades now,
Okay.
30 years.
Mm.
Agri insurance in this country is the cheapest you can get anywhere in the world. You can quote me. It's very cheap. I'll give you an example. The farmers that was compensated for the ginger blight in
Okay.
Kaduna
Okay.
paid less than 6,000 naira
Wow.
as insurance subscription, and they received compensation worth 150 something thousand naira per farmer.
Thank you once again for coming
You're
to our
welcome,
studio.
sir.
Well, if you just tuned in, yes, we've been talking and talking and talking. Yeah, we're talking with Mr. Ayola Fatona. He is an agri insurance expert, and we've talked about food security and mitigating losses. I know everybody, from the oldest to the smallest in Nigeria, is aware of what is happening in Nigeria. In other words, whatever you have, no matter how little, no matter how much, please keep it safe, because you don't even know what tomorrow will be. The market you go today is not the same market you meet tomorrow. So please try to, before the government or before organizations ensure your food, please try to ensure it yourself, okay? It's still Good Morning Abuja. Let's take a short break and the program
My
will
parting
continue.
shots.
Okay.
All farmers or anybody that is into agriculture should have the entire project insured. It's
Okay.
safe, it's
Okay.
cheap, and it protects your investment.
We've heard
Okay,
it
you
all.
said it.
Thank you.
I hope you have heard.
Yes.
But in case you did not hear again, please come and meet us so that we will reiterate what he has said. Yes, like I said earlier, the program is Good Morning Abuja. Let's take a short break. We will be right back.